Hello, everybody. Today we are single dad cooking. Tonight I am making chicken wings and drums, some Brussels sprouts and olive oil, and with some garlic and salt and pepper seasoning. And then I'll be making some roasted corn with some taco seasoning. So here I'm taking half of the drums and wings. I'm putting them in a plastic bag, and then I'm going to be adding some Frank's Red Hot to the bag so that I can coat these. The other half of the chicken is going to be just plain salt and pepper. So as long as it's seasoned thoroughly with salt and pepper, it should taste good. We could always add barbecue sauce afterwards. So here, using the rest of the Frank's Red Hot that I have, unfortunately I couldn't have some extra left over at the end, but put it in the bag and then we'll seal up the bag and we'll start shaking the bag around to get them fully coated. Here I'm turning on the burner to get my cast iron skillet ready so that I can put in the Brussels sprouts while the chicken is slowly being marinated. So the cast iron skillet's heating up. I'm taking the rest of the chicken, putting it on a paper plate so that I can season with salt and pepper. Now, while I'm doing this, the Brussels sprouts and all of this stuff is just very basic, good and gather stuff from Target. Trying to make it as cheap as possible. Things are getting as expensive as they can out there, so even a meal like this is going to cost $15 to $20, but can feed my kids, me, and have a couple extras left over afterwards. So some Costco pepper going on the skin side of the chicken. I like a lot of pepper, so we'll go with a heaping portion. I don't measure pretty much anything while I'm cooking. If I'm baking something, I obviously have to measure, but in cooking, I just season with my heart. It may seem like a lot of salt going onto the chicken, but in reality it's not. A lot of it falls off all the chicken crisps, the skin crisps, and it comes out nice, very salt and peppery chicken. So some Kirkland olive oil in the pan. I like to use 3 or 4 tablespoons in the pan. The amount of Brussels sprouts that I'm going to be putting in the pan kind of needs that amount of olive oil. The pan should be heated up. Some Good and Gather shaved Brussels sprouts go into the pan. I'll let them start cooking. Before I add any seasoning in, I need them to be coated in the olive oil so that the seasoning sticks to them and doesn't just go to the bottom of the pan. And as you can see from the pan, it's definitely hot. While that's heating up and browning the bottom side of the Brussels sprouts, I'm getting some trays ready so that I can put the chicken in the oven. I set the oven to 400 degrees. Usually at about 400 degrees, you're going to cook chicken like this for anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. You kind of need to have an idea of how thick the chicken is. This chicken is not very thick, so I think I end up cooking it for 40 minutes for the entirety of this session when I'm cooking. One tray with salt and pepper. Then I will do another with the buffalo Brussels sprouts while the chicken is in the oven. The Brussels sprouts are cooked in the olive oil. Here in a second I can get the seasoning out and do like a salt, pepper, garlic seasoning on the Brussels sprouts. I like my Brussels sprouts nice and browned. In this case we're using Kinder's The Blend, which is a garlic, salt, and pepper blend. I think it turns out well with the Brussels sprouts. Once again, season with your heart. Don't worry too much about it. You'll quickly learn as you cook and as you become a better cook that what too much salt looks like and tastes like. Now for the third portion of the meal, just a can of Del Monte's corn. My kids aren't the biggest fan of corn, so tonight I'm going to be adding a little bit of red pepper flake, some taco seasoning blend to them, and then roast the corn for about 30 minutes in the oven. Almost the majority of the time that the chicken's in there, it comes out a lot less sweet than it would straight out of the can, and with the taco seasoning, it has a really good flavor to it. So more mixing on the Brussels sprout side of the house. You can tell that some of the bottom pieces are starting to get browned. No reason to really focus too much on the Brussels sprouts here. You just have to be a watchfly. I like to do the dishes while I cook. That way whatever I'm making a mess with while I'm cooking is done in the dishwasher, so that when I wake up in the morning it's the majority of things. Here's the chicken and the corn roasting in the oven. And then, after about 40 minutes at a little over 400 degrees, I take the chicken out. The skin was crispy, the inside was moist, it was not dry. Everyone asked for seconds or thirds. It was all time intended. It was only about 10 minutes of my time actually cooking, and then about an hour of total time cooked, but I could do dishes and edit this video while I was doing it.